Howdy buckaroos. Is buckaroo just someone that couldn't pronounce vaquero, like vaquero, but I can't understand what y'all saying. Vaquero? Buckaroo? I looked it up, and yes, this is generally held as the version of the etymology of buckaroo. Isn't it great when you guess something correctly? Anyways, you know that a buckaroo is a cowboy. That and the hat and the whole getup should indicate what we're talking about today, and that is a Western. With an intro like that, you might expect that I'm going to delve into Chuck Tingle, but I have something a little bit different in mind. I'm thinking today of extolling the virtues and highlighting the problems of Alexander Singer's 1971 film, Captain Apache, otherwise known as Deathwork,
otherwise known as The Guns of April Morning,
otherwise known as Hunt the Man Down.
Before we dive in, a warning. This video discusses some offensive slurs used in the film against Native Americans, so feel free to skip this one if you prefer to avoid such content. Based on a novel and directed by Alexander Singer, a workhorse director and friend of Stanley Kubrick who turned in episodes of The Monkees, In the Heat of the Night, and 3 different Star Trek series, the movie is something to behold. It's definitely an acid western, though it does not reach the psychedelic alchemical heights of something like El Topo. It is listed alongside that film on the Wikipedia page for the acid western genre. Loosely speaking, Captain Apache tells the story of an Apache enlisted in the U.S. Cavalry. He's trying to figure out who killed a commissioner and friend based on the last word.
I heard him try to say something. April morning.
As he investigates, he deals with a labyrinth of political intrigue and uncovers a plot to, spoilers, assassinate President Ulysses S. Grant. How does he figure everything out? Why, he takes drugs to piece together the information he's gathered. Did I mention that Singer directed episodes of The Monkees, the fake band whose movie Head included a shootout parody where Mickey Dolenz faces off against a Coca-Cola machine?
Things go better with Coke.
This movie includes witches in charge of saloons, twin redheads.
One more and I go crazy. Drink it. Let's see.
It's a bevy of shootouts.
You idiot!
And of course, two songs for Lee Van Cleef to sing. The songs are very rough, but once you get into them, they have a kind of special spectral magic. Someone had to sign off on the bad from the good, the bad, and the ugly, singing this very silly song that explains the entire psychology and motivation of our hero.
They're after me with bombs and drives and fast women. They're gonna tail me, trail me, try to nail me there. But they haven't got a prayer.
And then they turned around and let him sing again on April Morning.
'Cause I got a day with an April morning.
The first song is much better, even if it does bizarrely show us all of the major plot points of the movie before we've even seen the film. This is a kind of Shakespearean prologue to the action. It's either one of the worst westerns in the genre or quite goofy fun. I think it's probably both. Reviews are divided. The movie, however, is not unproblematic. It's very much of its time, and the main character is certainly supposed to be a criticism of the United States' treatment of Native Americans. Over and over again, the characters who are opposed to our hero call him
Red ass.
including a betrayal at the end of the movie.
You're not going anywhere. You call me too.
This very specifically calls out the racism of Americans who believe in manifest destiny in dealing with people who already lived in the West. The plan within the movie to remove the natives to worse land reflects real-world Indian removals.
The reservation land has become too valuable. It will only make trouble for your people. We're going to move them. to Yellow Snake Canyon.
Yellow Snake Canyon. It's full of snakes!
The character, by the way, when not referred to by the slur, doesn't get a real name other than the symbolic Captain Apache that is also the movie's title. This is definitely similar to other lead characters in the genre, the Topo being known as a Topo, for example, or the Stranger in Django Kill If You Live Shoot. I think this is meant to be a stand-in for an archetype, as in those films, but can also be read as more of an issue. In not having a name, the captain's personhood is stripped away, and so while the movie criticizes his being called ass, it also refuses to give him his own name. The character can be seen as a symbol, but cannot be seen as a flawed individual. That's not the only problem with this portrayal. The other problem is that Lee Van Cleef, a white actor, is playing the title character. This whitewashing undercuts the movie's intended points, I think, about just what makes our hero character the hero. Though this is not as bad as A Man Called Horse, a movie I want to physically forget ever having watched and have no idea why I thought would be a good idea to view in the first place. So what does this all come to? A movie recommendation loaded with major caveats. This movie is a mess of action, includes the police commissioner escape from New York singing, and while trying to focus on an indigenous hero, fails to live up to the in-world standards it sets for itself. But if you can turn off your brain, sit back and relax with a weird Western, I think you too will enjoy watching Captain Apache doing his death work.
Teach me the ways of the white man.
First, you steal a horse.
Cause I got a day with an April morning, a day that cannot wait till dawn. Got a day with an April morning, a day with fate I just